recording, and let's go in with the intro.
No,
Guys,
all the noise.
guys, come on, I'm trying to start my show. Guys, no, come on, stop! Alright, that's it. I'm starting the show.
Damn it.
Ugh. This show is not for kids. This show is about chaos and talking over coffee. So let's get going. Call me the DarkTranny. And we are back. Happy Friday. I was up too late last night. I'm just going to start with that right now. I was at, let me go and pull it up for you so you know where I was at. Oh, I told myself if I was going to be doing morning streams, I would never, ever stay up late. But of course, let's go and see who it was who what is the word? Tempted me. The Drunken Rocky. Having his Drunken Rocky show. God. It was fun. It was fun, but damn it, I was up way too late, and I only got like 4 hours of sleep, and so I feel crispy and messed up. So good morning, Atomic. Okay, so if anyone ever wants to go and see the Drunken Rocky, there's his link. Okay, it's chaotic and there's no joke. People get drunk. Okay, it gets pretty chaotic to the point where at some point people just start getting kicked out of the room left and right, or there's some other chaos, or there's like a spurg session. It's got a pattern, but it's kind of like a blow off steam show with the news. It's like they do news, and then they do like these group activities like reading off lists of all the different variations of the Wuhan flu or COVID, and it gets racist. It's kind of like the racism we used to have before everything went woke. Like it's kind of like living before the Obama years, where it was like people had comedy and people could laugh at shit without being like, oh my God, you offended me, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get a lawyer involved because my fifis were hurt a little bit, and now I'm gonna inundate the system with my bullshit because I don't have any coping mechanisms and all that. So it's something, if you want to hang out in chaos and stuff like that, but it's like, it's like base chaos, go on over to the Drunken Rocky. It's a good show. All right, so we're getting older. Okay. Oh Lord, I'm over 50. And I'm feeling it. Especially staying up too late with friends. But you know what? That's what friends are for. Friends. Oh, and speaking of friends, Truth. Okay, this makes me a bad person. Okay, this makes me a bad friend. So Truth tells me I need to get this content piece, and I need to get this project. I'm going to be working on this after I get back. He went to go play fetch with his dogs, and left me in his green room. I was like, I just hung out in the green room because I said I would hang out in the green room. And he came back, and we're talking about things like OBS and how to set up scenes and how to do transitions. And I introduced him to Jitsi because I wanted him to see what Jitsi has to offer, especially when it comes to the share screen button. When you're trying to work on projects together, it's nice to have a good third-party secure and non-recording area to do your work in, not like Zoom or Microsoft, whatever the fuck, or Ecamm. I don't think Ecamm has all the ability of Jitsi, and then there's another one, Restream or something like that. But Jitsi seems to take up the least amount of resources while providing the most bang per processing cycle. So I was introducing him to that. Well, then one thing led to another. Our dear Pastor Shadowlar came into the room and invited Axel and I over to the Drunken Rocky to be on the panel. And so, I asked Axel if he had his conceal and carry, and since I don't have a piece, I was like, I'll bring my blade and we'll just take one car, to save the planet. Drive on over to the Drunken Rockies area. Why would we need weapons? Well, it does get rowdy, and every now and again you have to stick someone just a little bit. But it's all in good fun. Anyway, I feel badly because Axel, is busy. Okay, and it may have provided a distraction. So Axel, if you're out there, I hope I didn't cause any. I hope I didn't damage anything with your production because the word that you get out is important. And your audience has been so blessed to know you, as have I. So, that's my apology. It is early on a Friday. You know, as well as I know, we didn't get barely any sleep. So, let's all sip our coffee. Oh, good morning, Lulu. Oh, so let's see. Now I'm going to do my morning cough. And as you notice, I mute that because, no one needs that shit. But I'm sure everyone is coughing. If you want to call into Jitsi and if you just want to cough, I'll let you cough for a bit, get it out of your system, and then we can move on. All right, so there's the Drunken Rocky, and I have dropped the link, so we're going to close that tab to reserve resources because Greta Thunberg has issues. All right, and since I was talking about Axe Truth, why not do a plug for Axe Truth? Here's Axe Truth right here. And I'm going to take his link, and I am going to drop it over here. So if you're not exposed to Axe Truth, and maybe you want to go check him out, now you've got his info on Odysee. All right. So we're going to, again, conserve resources. Okay. So where do I want to start this morning? All right. Let's start with, why don't we start with some Russian art during the Soviet era? All right. So here you see this collage I have pulled up. And let's look at some. I don't read Russian, so if anyone reads Russian, and if anyone who reads Russian wants to call in right now, as I'm pulling up these images, and if you can translate what the fuck it says, that would be fabulous. But until then, let's look at some Soviet art. All right, see what we have right here. You've got people. Look at all that bounty. Look at all that. The people look healthy. The people look clean. The cart is practically filled with grain. Look at that bounty right out in front. There is a bag brimming with food, and they're writing. They're literate. People understand how to read and write. The children look healthy. The sky is nice and pleasant. There are birds flying over a building. Why, look in the back. They have industry. There are machines. So we've got laborers. We have technology. We have a very, very nice setting. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, let's close this one. By the way, I think now might be a good time to do a sound check and stuff like that. So I imagine you guys can hear me. Let me see. I am recording, so I will be able to upload this. Things seem to be looking like they're supposed to, so let's continue. Let's look at Soviet Ukraine at the Museum of Russian Art. Now these are going to be politicians, and let's interpret. I don't know exactly what this says, so I'm going to go with what I see instead of like what I know. Look at these people. They're happy. He's happy. This dude right here. Is that Winston Churchill? I don't know who that is. But look at this. These people are happy. They're waving banners. They have their signs. They're reaching out. Oh, whoever this is, they adore this man. And he's come down on a jet. Okay? Let's look at something else here. Let's see. Permission, okay. You know, this is what I hate about search engines. Is they're never too exact. You type in what you want and you get a bunch of other stuff, but at least it's not porn. Look at this mosaic we've got right here. Okay, apparently this is Soviet era art. Okay, now does everyone know what the Soviet era was? Do you know what communism is? Okay, I believe communism and the Soviet era kind of go hand in hand in Russia. But look how they present. We have the technology. We are astronauts, or they call them cosmonauts. Okay? We are humans in the sky traveling. We are advancing technology. Now, some of this is true. What you want to make a bet, the population, what was it really like? What was it really like in Soviet Russia? Well, we'll take a look, shall we? 13 photos that show what life was really like in Soviet Russia and Soviet Union. Oh. Well, that's a grayscale image. All right, they're using computers. I don't know what any of this says. But what do we have here? Okay, so that's the Ukraine cinema. So a line to see the cinema. Probably not too bad. Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh my God, I forget who. What did Lee Harvey Oswald? Was Lee Harvey Oswald? Didn't he like? Was he like a murderer or something? Lee Harvey Oswald was a U.S. Marine veteran who assassinated John F. Kennedy. Yes, somewhere in my muddled old brain, I knew that, but I just had to check because you know what it's like when you make a faux pas. Passengers boarding a Moscow bus don't know where the hell they're going. Brother and sister in Palace Square. What do we have here? I don't know who these people are. This is not the representation. I don't want family photos. These people look well-to-do. Let's see. Let's go look at Soviet-era Russian farmer. Agriculture. Let's see. I need images. Well, that doesn't look... Soviet farmers circa 1931. Well, that doesn't look anything like the painting. How did that look anything like the happy, joyful? I mean, I know it's in grayscale. Where are all the smiles? Where's all the joy? Where's all the bounty? Oh my gosh, I know that this is a small piece of land right here, but it just looks like shit. I mean, where's all the golden grain? Where's all the piles of food? All right, let's go back and see. Okay. So here they are laboring with a broom. All right. The shiny happy faces aren't there anymore. Now here's a piece. This one is a piece of propaganda art. This image right here, well, actually, this is too modern. This seems to be a reproduction of a piece of propaganda where they show like the happy milk women of Russia. In Soviet Russia, they used a lot of imagery which said people are healthy, people are strong, people are, they're just doing very, very well. In reality, though, it wasn't so fabulous. It's like, okay, here are people toiling out in the field. Now remember, they have machinery. So there are things called threshers that you attach to tractors. And if Russia was actually as industrious as the art would have you believe, you'd have machines out here doing the work. But no, what you have here, you have laborers. I have nothing against manual labor as far as like farming and stuff like that. I get it. I grew up on a farm. But the art doesn't match up to the reality. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to get out of Russian art for a while. I just want to set a tone. Now, let's move over to other forms of art, but before we do, let us go to the chats and let us check the time. Okay, it's 8:15. Oh, right. Oh, you guys have been talking. Okay. Sound is good. Thank you, Lulu. I don't know if you're responsible for letting Axe know about the Queen situation, but I was so happy Axe played that clip last night. I've been Axel is he's got a gift, and it's like he's empathic to a level where he can feel what people need to hear, and it's one of his gifts. So maybe he was channeling you, Atomic. And that's good. All right, so, Trucker. It's the spiked protein bunch of people shedding that crap that makes me cough. My husband got that shot twice. And each time he got that shot the first time, I just felt like shit after like 3 days. Because, we're intimate, okay? So, lo and behold, he gets the shot and gets intimate. And then, I get sick. Second time he gets the shot, lo and behold, we get intimate. And I get sicker, and this side of my face for 36 hours was getting pulled like the fucking Joker, like some rendition of the Joker. It looked like my face was just being pulled to the side of my head, and it hurt, and I couldn't relieve the spasms. I'm thankful that it was just my face and not any major muscle group. Oh, I don't know, like the heart. But anyway, I'm still here. And I think that shedding shit is real. All right. Atomic Blonde says, I just know he's busy and he gets so many requests and emails. I never want to pile onto his work. He does get a lot, and at the same time, he loves his audience, and he's he may not get to you. That's just how it is. I send him emails and he doesn't get to me sometimes. But sometimes he does. And that's when that's cool. So don't ever feel like you can't reach out to Axe Truth. He's good people. He's out there in the information war and stuff like that. And he appreciates the interactions. I can tell you that. Let's see. I'm a huge Chernobyl nerd. Now, how many people remember that Chernobyl, Ukraine, is in Ukraine? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Trucker. But this whole Ukraine-Russia thing, Ukraine used to be part of all of the USSR, and then it wasn't until the USSR, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it something to do with the UN, but it was like pre-UN, and then they divided up the USSR, and they chopped it up into a bunch of territories. In fact, they made an art piece which showed the USSR as a struggling female on a table with a bunch of hideous monsters, and these monsters represented world leaders, and they were carving her up as she screamed. So that kind of art in the Soviet era was not allowed. All art was prescribed by the communist regime. And that's why so much of it makes them look so strong and so prosperous and so industrious, while a majority of the people of the Soviet era were suffering. Okay, Kennedy assassination. Thank you, Lulu. All right, let's see. Wrong mouse. All right. The housing blocks I lived in. Trucker, are you Russian? Why didn't you call in? Or were you just visiting? Are you from Chernobyl? Why were you living in a house? Oh my lord, how old are you? Oh, honey, if you lived during that whole time, oh, honey, I don't know what to say because that's a heavy burden. Okay, so I don't know your history on that, but oh my lord, if you were one of the people. Oh, Lord. Okay. I love that so many of us came through Acts, but build a strong. We had to. We had to. Axel is like, I don't think he ever intended for any of this to be like this. I don't think he ever intended to get into the kind of topics he gets into today. But, you know, he said, I mean, I can't do a testimony for him because he does his own testimony, but from what I've observed, he never planned to go down a spiritual route of awakening. But that's where he ended up. And he seems to be really good at it. So, yeah, community. As that one thing says, we are a big family. All right. So, Lulu, saying it's so great to know there are similar people out there and I'm not alone. And you know what I love about being similar? Okay, this brings me into my cult talk. What I love about our similarities is that we have a similarity when it comes down to, you know, the concepts of God, family, and country. Okay? Nationalism, stuff like that. And then that's pretty much where the similarity ends, because after that, we're very diverse. It's like we come from all different walks of life, we come from all different ethnicities. We're not all thinking the same things. We speak amongst each other. We have our arguments amongst each other. We have our reconciliations amongst each other, and we're able to grow concepts. What we don't do is we don't sit around censoring people. We don't sit around telling people. There's a phrase. Yesterday, I was looking at I walked into the kitchen. I saw this breadcrumb on the countertop, and I was like, kind of like Joan Crawford when she sees a wire hanger. I was like, and then something drifted into my mind, and the thought was, have you ever realized how people who are in a cult start sentences with, I need you to understand. I need you to understand X to be true. I need you to understand you cannot think in such a manner. Have any of you guys ever experienced people who start sentences with, I need you to understand? You're dealing with a groomer at that point, but it might be more subtle. In the beginning, it was like, it might be something like, I'd like you to understand. Or, I'd like you to see things from my point of view. Those are more subtle grooming techniques. I was going to do a test where I would never do this because after I thought about it, I realized what a shit thing it would be to do to any pawn friend or any chopper. But I was going to do a test where I was going to see if I did this to a chopper or if I did this to a pawn friend, would they go along with it or would they have a visceral reaction against it? Because let's face it, the people on the left have psychology, okay? And they use it. They use it on a regular basis. We, in my opinion, should be versed in psychology as well. Not to weaponize it, but to understand that when you're dealing with somebody, and if you hear certain cues, to be a little bit wary. Just a little bit wary. Doesn't require an attack, doesn't require, on the left, people are like, if people don't agree with you, then you need to excommunicate them. I haven't found a single person on this side in the pond or in the chopper community who's ever needed to excommunicate anyone other than abusive people who come into our communities. I'm talking about abusive individuals. I mean, obviously abusive, caustic, toxic individuals. And when they come in, what it kind of reacts like is that the community sees them and they tolerate them for a bit because maybe they're just misunderstood. But eventually they show their colors. On the left, you don't even get that litmus test. You don't even get that consideration of oh, maybe they're just misunderstood. It's either my way or the highway on the left. And they call themselves progressives, but they're just and they're not automatons there. What are those things you can I was going to say NPCs, but I wanted to be a little bit more enlightened, but fuck it. It's a Friday. I was up too late. My throat is crazy. Oh, and I need more coffee. Boomers definitely say that. Had friends and family dealing with commies. Ah, trucker. I don't know you. I'm only lightly acquainted with you, and this story interests me. So if you ever stop by Jitsi, I'd love to hear your story. Oh, Jitsi, Friendly Froggers. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but you can go to Meet Jitsi, Friendly Froggers, and that is the lounge area of the tavern, which is Pastor Chatelet's community, which resides in the pond. Yesterday, out of the blue, 451 Actual just said he wanted to test his bass guitar. And so he started like strumming. He just wanted to see how the sound came through. That test turned into about like a 1.5 hour set of him singing and performing. And at one point, I just went and got a glass of red wine and just sat back and just enjoyed it because it was uplifting and energizing. So if you ever want to stop by Friendly Froggers on Jitsi, do it. All right, so propaganda, we've gone through that. I'm going to get to Axe Truth's clothesline later. Let's see, where am I going? Oh, y'all ready? All right, let's see how many people. I can't count all the people in the room. All right, but here you guys are. I just covered propaganda. You ready for this? Let's go. This came out in 2012. All right? Watch.
The earth just cannot handle the sheer number of humans who live here. Something has to give. And I believe that it's up to us who have lived a good life to make sure that our children will have the opportunity to live good lives too. I have lived a good life.
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 All right, so let's back up right over here. Ah, come on, you. Don't you be, you damn technology. I have dominion over you. Stop that shit. Okay, let's take a look right here. Get that red bar out of my face. Oh, my Lord. At the bottom right there, under Coming Soon, Agenda 21, it says UN Division for Sustainable Development. Well, let's just minimize that. And close that tab to conserve resources, otherwise it makes Greta Thunberg cry. All right, let's go back over here. Oh, and the cough again. Good morning, Gray Man. All right, so you guys watched that, right? How many of you think that that was a euthanasia video? How many of you think that that was, was it just elderly people in a grayscale, nature shot on a farm, walking through a field? Was it innocent? Or was that a euthanasia video, grooming people, like getting people ready? And remember, it was made in 2012, and it's not out there for public consumption, apparently, but it exists. I've had a good life. I want a better, it's not like I want to help create a better life for my children. It's I want to leave. It's like, and then walking through the field, like, when you see the movies where you have the people who are walking through the fields and like their hands go over the grain, it's typically because they've died and went to the Elysian fields in some, Spartacus, some CGI 300, everyone's got muscles for days kind of movie. Or Kratos from, God, what is that? God of War, the video games, or whatever. The imagery typically represents that the person's passed on. So what exactly were they trying to say right there? It's Agenda 21. How many of us know about Agenda 21? It's about consolidating populations. It's about population control. It's about population reduction. It's about changing the way that resources like food are distributed and shit. It's about trying to save the planet while you put like all the rabble get all put into these like gorgeous, smart cities and stuff. But the elites don't live there. Talking about geofencing areas of the world, like the farmland in the wild areas and stuff like that, and making them so an electric car will never go into that area. And then they'll, from what I understand, they'll be surveilled. So even if you try to walk into the areas, you could be apprehended. It's like, yes, that's what I want. I want to live a life where it's like I'm packed in with a bunch of other people with, I just want to be jacked into the metaverse or like whatever, and just have all of my thoughts and feelings. I want a solid set of instruction on how to think and feel every fucking day of every fucking moment. And I never want to deviate from that because that's exactly what God put me on the planet to do. Fuck. Ugh. Yes, I'd be running to the fields of them. I'm like, okay, Lord, take me. Strike me with lightning. It's like, please let the earth open up and swallow me and end this existence. Because who the fuck would want to live like that? My husband. My husband wants to live like that. Oh my God. Oh, I love him. I mean, I love the man. And at the same time, we're two very different people. Now, if I could bottle what he and I have and pour it over the planet, everyone would get along. I kid thee not, we could not be more different. All right? Very progressive man. Okay? And then, he gender affirmed me in the beginning, but you know what the saving grace is? He told me that if he knew how this would all turn out with this whole gender affirmation and all this stuff, granted, it's not all about being a tranny, okay? But I'm just throwing it in there because, it's truth. It's part of my testimony. Had he known that things would have turned out like this, he never would have gender affirmed me. He would have just said, don't do it, you're going to end up regretting it, and stuff like that, which is true. Anyway, that might be maybe that's his red pill moment, seeing that this whole switching around, gender swapping, and chemically changing the body and surgically castrating, inverting organs, moving prostates around, and all that stuff isn't all it's cracked up to be. So that's just, silver linings. I look on the bright side of things. It's a Friday. All right, so let's see what we got going on. I'm sorry I'm late. Gray Man, did you get your muffin? Do you have your muffin? Do you have your coffee? As long as you have those two things, you're golden. All right. Oh, look, a boomer. Totally a euthanasia video. I think so, too. They are allowing people to assist suicide in other... I know! In Canada, they were pushing for, or still are, pushing for assisted suicide. And I don't know if it was a rumor, but I heard that some veteran went into the VA and was talking about PTSD, and the therapist suggested assisted suicide. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Well, let me go check the time. 8:33. The Twinkle's going to be coming up yesterday. Oh my God, did you guys hear the Twinkle yesterday? Wasn't that gay? Anyway, where am I going? All right, so we had the euthanasia video. What I'm going to call it a euthanasia video. Damn it looks just like a euthanasia video. So what? You start getting people who are elderly to start saying, yeah, well, yeah, you can kill me. And then what happens? That's just the tip. And then subtract another 5 years. And then your target audience becomes younger. Subtract 5 years. And your target audience gets younger. Have you seen how progressives keep how they keep their homes and how they keep their bedrooms? Okay, I know. Some people in the audience may be disorganized. I'm not trying to be a bitch. I am generalizing. Okay, maybe I need to cast the nigga spirit out. Do not judge, lest thee be judged. But damn it, come on. It's like, am I the only one? I mean, I guess it's because I lived in the Twin Cities and I was surrounded by it. And now that I live out here in a much more conservative area, there's a juxtaposition of reality. It's like, I have observed that conservative people tend to pick up the trash, keep their shit together, keep things looking nice, functional, maintained, okay? And we tend to try to make things last as long as possible without being hoarders. And then on the progressive side, I've noticed that things are in disarray. Things don't stay maintained. And the consumption is much higher. And it makes me wonder, it's like with this Green New Deal and stuff like that, why do these people hate people like us so much? We don't waste, really. we don't tend to overconsume. I mean, when you look at the actual amount of consumption, we don't tend to overconsume. We tend to get as much as we think that we need, and then, live within our means and stuff like that. It's like, I've noticed that it's like when you look at the conservative ratio of debt to the progressive liberal ratio of debt, the progressive ratio of debt is much higher than the conservative ratio of debt. That would probably mean consumption. I know that these things cannot be exactly correlated without more data points. I get that. I served as a statistician at US Bank. I get how numbers work. I get correlation. I get causation. But I also get observation. And I know that the sample is the Twin Cities. However, I've traveled. I've gone to other places. Have you ever actually worked with socialists, like real European socialists? They do the bare minimum. That's why when you go to, like, let's say, hotels in Europe or Iceland or like whatever, typically you'll look and you'll find so much filth. Like in the areas where a vacuum cleaner, like if you have to like bend down to get under something, that nozzle, that thing that sweeps across the floor to pick up the dirt, never goes under anything. It's just, they just do the bare minimum. If you can see it, clean it, but if you can't, fuck it. That's socialism. That's real socialism. The bare fucking minimum. Just to be passable, and that's it. Oh my gosh. Now I have acquaintances and friends who live in Europe, so when you see this, yes, you're gonna swear at me in your native tongue, and I can't understand you. Okay, let's see. I know they want to restrict the access. That's a rumor, mind you, but it sounds reasonable compared to like what I've been reading in civil engineering journals and what I've been seeing with WEF, and who the fuck put them in charge? I don't know, but all the rhetoric seems to lead to that, to want to put us in these condensed metropolitan situations, and they say, oh, they'll be gorgeous. Well, maybe I don't think that, all this counterfeit glamour. I've lived in counterfeit glamour. This hair is counterfeit glamour. My eyebrows are like pigmented. It's like my hair is silver. It's like I'm old. It's like most of the shit you see is counterfeit glamour. But the stuff coming out of me is real. But I've lived in counterfeit glamour. There's no soul in counterfeit glamour. It's like, especially if you're told that you can't, they say there's no divine spark, or that God isn't real, or that your faith is pointless. I don't want to live in a world like that. I happen to love my faith. I love my God. I love my Creator. It's like, look at everything. I mean, look at all this. Look beyond this. It's fucking awesome. Why wouldn't I love that? What? I'm supposed to like follow some person who struts around on a beach in women's clothes with his rolls and wrinkles like some tortoise, which shell has been removed and its flesh is all like, it looks like a ghoul with this. Oh, I don't know if you've seen the photo. I'm not going to show you. It's disgusting. Let's see how much time we have left. We have 8:38. All right, let's see. Chernobyl guide. Well, okay, let me open it up. Is this something that we can actually cover in the show, or is it something I should hold for later? Oh. Okay, so he's already dropped this link, I believe. I called you he, and if you're female biologically, you will correct me. Otherwise, I stand firm. I called you a he. Oh, I'm sexist. Fuck, I'm so sexist. Damn it. Okay, so let's see. So since the link has already been dropped in the chat, for anyone who wants to go through the Chernobyl guide, by all means, do, because it's a very interesting story of how communism and assigning people to jobs which they had no business being in because they had no merit to be in the, well, they had merit, but not enough apparently to be in the positions they were in. That's what happens when you have equity and bullshit like that, and you don't actually, in nepotism, and you don't actually use a person's merits to put them in positions which they are suited to. No, when you start assigning jobs willy-nilly and one of them is the engineer at a nuclear facility, you get Chernobyl. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I believe my theory is sound. And I believe that's what history is actually recorded as saying. All right. That's awful. They wanted. Okay, we covered that one. The older I get, the more I want to be out in the country. Yes, I know. That's why we moved here, Lulu. In the protestations of my husband, he said, no, everything's fine. As I'm like walking outside onto the street in Tangletown in Minneapolis, a couple of miles away from Ground Zero, and my nostrils are being filled with the scent of burning rubber and burning petrol because buildings are on fire and some of them are auto zones and stuff. So all those chemicals are burning and going up in the atmosphere while I hear the pleasant sound of crows and people like yelling on the street calling death to America. Totally conducive to a healthy life. Yes, nothing's wrong. He's the dog at the table in the flames with his cup of whatever the fuck he's drinking. You know the meme. Okay, now where am I going? They're encouraging teens with depression to assist it. Oh, lordy. Teens, though. Look at the troops they sent to clean up. Okay, Trucker, I will look at that later if we have time. Lulu mentioned something about teens with depression. I have a thought because I made a show note. And what I said is, where's my show note? It's a question I asked. Is Biden actually creating a generation of rebellious-based people? Is it possible, because they've been fast-tracking this social engineering at an accelerated rate, that Biden, the administration, and I understand, he's a front man. I get it. There are people behind the scenes. It's whatever their movement is, okay? And it's global. It's not isolated to the United States. It's happening globally. And there are children around the world who are currently not living under totalitarianism, nor are they living under authoritarian rule. The iron fist, okay, if you will. Which experiment was ever done which showed that you could go and suddenly change the nature of how societies run, where you still have adults who know what freedom is and understand personal responsibility and not relying on the governments? Which experiment has ever been run where those people, the older people exist with that prior historical knowledge, and then children exist while being conditioned and groomed by a government? Was there ever an experiment conducted which showed that a government could successfully brainwash kids into buying the bullshit? I'm going to say no. However, I'm going to say it's happening right now. Separating parents from parent-teacher meetings, not allowing parents to see homework, not allowing parents to be engaged with their child. What is this rumor I heard about when kids were doing telecommuting to school? I forget what it was called, but online learning. What is this rumor I heard that instructions were being given to the kids to not let the parents see what they were being taught in their online learning? Was that a conspiracy? I just wonder. It's like Biden, I mean, let's just look at Biden as Biden. He's not a very good parent. I mean, look at his kids. They're all fucked up. So understanding that Biden is not the power that be. He's just the meat sack they go and throw in front of us to piss us off. But he is that figurehead they're using. So wouldn't the children do what children do when they're met with an authoritarian environment, don't they start to rebel? And you can't stop kids from talking to each other, and they form like their own community groups and stuff like that. And then doesn't bullying come back? I mean, and I'm not talking about good bullying. Oh shit, how is this gonna work? Because there is productive bullying. Like when kids see another child who is acting in a way which is very detrimental to the health of others in the vicinity. That kind of bullying is when kids are like, they try to give a reinforcement to the child saying, you are fucked up. Because kids intuitively know when something's fucked up. So that's what that bullying thing is. But then you've got the unhealthy bullying, which comes from the governments. And they're like, stop being hateful while they beat you or threaten you or tell you that you're an enemy of the state. Oh my God. The day Biden was like, talking about the state this and the state that, and then like, weeks later, he goes and mentions Parliament in the United States. I mean, hello, Mr. Man, and where the fuck did your wedding ring go, Biden? I was watching his most recent thing. It's like his wedding ring is gone, and he has this like bruise on his hand that looks like someplace where you put an IV or something like that. What the fuck is going on with Biden? But his wedding ring, I mean, where the hell did that go? Oh my Lord, it's getting so hot in this room. These servers, imagine a server farm, it must be burning. Okay, so, let's see. We've got 8:45, so I'm going to go back to Trucker. All right, where'd you guys go? Because you guys are chatting, and I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Purposely screwing up a kills. Look at the troops they sent in to clean up. Now, Trucker, is it in? Oh! I think I know what you're trying to say to me. Okay, I might be wrong. Look at the troops. I know you said they troops. I imagine you meant the troops. They sent in to clean up. If I remember correctly, they were like healthy men, and they put these men in a situation where they got they got exposed to many, many, many levels of death in radiation. And these men died horribly painful. Oh, here we go. You have an image. You have an image. If I expand this, what's going to happen? How do I get back? Oh my God. No, how do I get back? Shit. What? Oh, if I close this? Oh, thank God. Trucker, don't do that to me. Let me copy the image address. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to keep that one open because I'm going to look at that one later. All right, so here we go. The men. All of these 30-something, maybe early 40s. Look at this one right here. Oh, look. Doesn't this look familiar? Oh. This isn't proper nuclear, biological, chemical cleanup gear. You'll be safe. Just put on this mask. Yeah, you'll be safe. We're sending you into a reactor that blew up and blew its walls out and blew the rods into the fucking sky, and there's a beam of light being shot into the sky. But you'll be fine. Oh, look at him. He would have made somebody These people are fathers. These people are, these are family members. These people were working in service to their country, but from what I understand, they were probably in a bad way to where they were told that they were going to get paid, handsomely if they did this job, I imagine. But look at what they did. The people who were running the show knew that all of this was for show. None of this is protective gear for what they would be dealing with. So they said, go run in there for a few seconds, try to get as many chunks of irradiated shit out of this area as possible, run back out. I heard that the robots they tried to send in there, these automatons or whatever, went in there, the radiation was so bad, the fucking circuits fried or they melted or Some shit, they like malfunctioned. They tried to use machines to like remove this stuff. Okay, what do we have here? Yeah, it's another image, and like this shit. None of this is gonna protect you from radiation. These are fathers. These are brothers. These are sons. This is sick. Because the elites didn't manage the machine well, and it blew up. And so instead of, maybe go the fuck in there yourself. If you mismanage this, maybe you should go clean up your own fucking mess. Maybe don't include a bunch of people that had nothing to do with your bullshit. But no, these people are probably nationalists. They're probably nationalists, and they're like, well, then we must save our community. It is for the better good of the community that we go in and risk. I mean, maybe they weren't even told that their lives were being at risk. They did it out of some form of patriotism, perhaps. I mean, who knows? But what we do know is this: the motherfuckers who caused the fucking accident didn't go and clean it up themselves, and that's pretty fucking shitty. Oh. And scrolling down. I mean, maybe the actor forgot to put on a ring with a mask. This ring never comes off. It's like, like before COVID and stuff like that, it's like I would go in for, I had a lump. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I had a lump. And I had to go in and get a lumpectomy. And I said, I want to stay awake. Because they're like, we need you to remove your ring. And I was like, I don't take this off. And they're like, well, then we can't put you under unless you remove the ring. I was like, then don't put me under. Just give me local anesthetic. Same thing for like portions on down there. I was like, I'm okay, I'm not gonna go. I was awake. Anyway, I was like lucid. I was kind of out of it, but I was awake. The ring doesn't come off. That's all I'm saying. Oh. And they don't care about human life. No, they sure as fuck don't. Not even their own kids. All that pomp for all these decades. And Joe couldn't get Hunter the proper level of help he needed, or the right kind of love, or just being there for his kid. But no, instead he has to go and shower with his daughter until she's in her early teens, and has to like, I mean, fuck. It's like, if Hunter and Ashley had grown up in any other family, they probably would have turned out fine. No. I mean, why did the mother go and have the car accident? Was she trying to kill the kids and herself? Trying to get away from this man? I don't know. But I will say this. Joe Biden is fucking creepy as fuck. I mean, shit. It's like, murmur, murmur, whisper, whisper, whisper. Now I'm going to yell at you and use a very ugly face while I do it because my patience is wearing thin. Oh my God. Anyway. Did you watch the movie My Son Hunter? Oh my God. Oh. Let me get stoned here. I'll put that in my thing. Here, since you said that, have you ever seen Lulu, was that you? Lulu. I'm gonna cast the spirit out of you. Why would you go and throw that up there? Here, let's go and look at everything, everywhere, all at once. Lulu, you brought up a movie that's probably gonna make me puke, but I want to show you guys a movie which made me smile. Now, it's kind of wacky, but it's a mother-daughter story, and it's got action and timelines and parallel universes, and it's kind of kooky, and I want to share it with you because I enjoyed it. Parts of it are progressive. Yeah, there are lesbians and stuff like that, but beyond that, I thought it was a good story, so I'm going to share it with you. Lulu, I'll go check out My Son Hunter. Oh, good God. Lulu! On a Friday. I'm going to talk about it on Monday, probably. My Son Hunter movie. Please tell me it's... Okay. Okay. There's the twinkle. Save me. Save me, Twinkle. Save me from that shit. God. All right. So closing up the show, since we're down to our last 5 minutes, if you would, consider going on over to Rougarou. This is something I haven't ever said when I've been like, plugging Rougarou's page. Throw him a little love. Like when you're over there, like drop a flame or make a contribution, or like whatever you want to do. But Rougarou has this guide he updates, and you can see it like right here, and then if you go to his actual page, these icons here are actually represented down below, and then you can expand them and you can actually see the show what do you call it, like it's information. Like, let's see, where's Axe Truth? He's down here somewhere. And, I'm under a time constraint, but he's one of these icons. You can look at the people's information to find out when they stream. Oh my God.
Yeah. What's up? Y'all know who it is. Brad Allen. This ain't no farewell, it's just another step. I'll always go back, but this is just another path. I'll always love my crew, that shit will never change. We did it all together, recognize it's bang a bang. I gotta follow this thing that's woken up inside, and you are more than welcome to come along and ride. I'm on a mission, searching for something different, serving a higher power, cause that's my ammunition. And I'm not scared of the flu, or the monkeypox. I'd rather get them both than take my chances with the shots. That's how I feel, you do you, and we're cool. Don't try to force that on me, Trudy, homie, don't play that game, dude. He's bound to take us down and he won't quit. His words mean shit, I'm cool with being called selfish. I'm not a Nazi, I'm not misogynistic. I know I'm well versed with every topic that I mentioned. I'm just a white boy, Tom McDonald with no hype. I never gaslight, but I'm standing prepared to fight. Don't live a lavish life, mad strife, high as a kite. And if I fall down, I get back up, ride it like a bike. Cause there's no quitting me, this fight is everlasting. A trade assassin with rhymes of passion, ready for action. Get satisfaction, smashing and crashing, blasting in fashion, attracting the masses with beautiful rap. Woo! This ain't no farewell, it's just another step. I'll always go back, but this is just another path. I'll always love my crew, that shit will never change. We did it all together, recognize it's bang a bang. I gotta follow this thing that's woken up inside, and you are more than welcome to come along and ride. I'm on a mission, searching for something different, serving a higher power, cause that's my ammunition. And I'm better than ever now, that there's no holding back. I'm going out for the truth, gunning for every fact. I do the math, multiply and subtract, then I add 6 billion stupid people to that. Ha! But I still like our odds, going up against these frauds. The truth will prevail, and that stuff always mess them up. They fight tooth and nail, but don't have facts to back their thoughts. They're all NPCs, and they can't tell that they're brainwashed. They gotta open their eyes, research themselves, stop believing in the people who have lied non-stop. Cause I refuse to even listen or give any attention to the people who are notorious for their deception. Woo! I'm just a salty guy, part of a salty army. There's like a million of us, we pissed off and we crazy. We the mad lads, down in the trenches, shitposts in every direction. My lord, these lefty tears are so delicious. This ain't no farewell, it's just another step. I'll always go back, but this is just another path. I'll always love my crew, that shit will never change. We did it all together, recognize it's bang a bang. I gotta follow this thing that's woken up inside, and you are more than welcome to come along and ride. I'm on a mission, searching for something different, serving a higher power, cause that's my ammunition. Woo!
I need to end it. Oh my God, because I have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that was Brad Allen. Okay, I dropped his link. That was an unintentional plug, but once the video started, you think I'm going to stop it? Fuck no, that's Brad Allen. It's like, check him out. All right, so Rise Attire. They don't sponsor me, but Axe Truth does have merch on Rise Attire. If you are interested, it's American made, high quality cotton. I need to wrap this up because 451 Actual is coming on in a hot minute. All right, and we've got, okay, yes, 451 Actual. Let me see. He calls today, what is it? Oh, shit, where is it? Where is it? Come on. Gotta hurry. Oh, God, it's a fun, I had the show note. Where? Oh, maybe it's up here. Yeah, scroll up, Tranny. Okay, remember to mention 451 Actual's Fun Friend Friday show, and I'll be dropping the link shortly. When he first said it, I misunderstood what he said, and what I thought he said was the Fuck Around and Find Out Friday show. That's not what he said. It is 451 Actuals Big Dick Energy Brigade from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're going to wrap up the show right now. Y'all have a blessed weekend. We will see you Monday at 8 Central. Take care.
I want peace among the street people coming together. We will never settle. We are rebels